Invasion has concluded on Apple TV Plus. Now, we did a first half review over episodes 1 through 5, and this is the video going over or through episodes 6 through 10. Now, what I'm going to do here is read some comments that you all left for us on our first video, and we'll see if those held truth and what I think about this second half of Invasion. If you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe button, help support me in this channel, and welcome to The Real Hero Show. I am Nick, your host, and for starters, if you haven't quite caught up yet on Invasion, maybe you will, maybe you won't. Maybe you want to see what I have to say here, and rather hear what I have to say. No, it was see, but maybe hear and see, right? Anyway, I have some notes, some points that I actually enjoyed through some of the episodes. But to read some of the comments on our first video, I'm not gonna call anyone's name because you could probably just see it yourself. But one of the comments was the frustration about this show is not about the slow pacing. It's the lack of proper villain or motivation for each storyline. The Japanese storyline is the only one who has that, and it is the most more interesting of all. To which we responded to that, and again, even after the episodes 6 through 10, that still proves to be the point, because the Japanese and JASA are the only ones that really come close to, finding out what is actually going on. They're on to something here, and they try to bait the aliens with the radio signals, and finding out that Hinata is alive, and what it all means. And we see more hysterical crying from Mitsuki, and again, I think that was probably the most interesting storyline between our protagonists here. Another comment that we had was I wasted time watching this awful show. I will never recover those wasted hours of life spent watching Invasion. They're waiting for the Expanse Season 6, a truly awesome sci-fi show. When we first mentioned the Dark Phoenix movie, that should have been weary. Yeah, I think that's one of the things about people in the industry. Depending on what they've worked on prior to, it might be an indicator that what this show or this movie is, it just isn't that great. It's not going to do enough. It's not going to actually entice people to watch it, or to waste time, which is a valuable currency that we can't get back in our lives. Now, the one thing I'll say again about this show is that it looked nice. The shots, the scenes were very well done. Again, I think the shows that are on Apple TV Plus have great quality, and the audio, very, very cool, very very creepy. I liked the soundtrack and the score quite a bit as well. Corey said in the 9th episode, where one of the creatures is crawling through the ceilings, like if you have a good stereo system or surround sound, those high rear speakers would pick them up, and that's where you would hear the creatures, not so much like from the low on the front or direct surround sound, or like even your center channel. So the fact that it's got this true 7.1 surround sound or something like that is actually really well done. And you don't see that a lot. So, I do want to give the show some kudos and not completely bash on it, much like the citizens did in the UK after the aliens were dead, although rightfully so. Let's see some other comments here. I said it was going to wait till episode 7, give it a chance, but not screw this show. And again, I think if you've made it this far in this video, if I'm going to talk about 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I think episode 6 was the best episode in the entire show. Reason being is because it's in this weird epiphany moment that Anisha has to go back to her family after she already wandered off, and sees a truck of dead soldiers. It's like, oh, we might be getting to something good here. But the atmosphere of it being dark, hard to see, on a dark and stormy night, with the at this house where her family and the homeowner, the old guy and his wife or something like that, are in the attic, and there's a creature there, which kills both of the people that live there, and of course, we think that Ahmed gets yeeted by the creature, but Anisha is able to save his life, and she kills the creature with this strange strange object that her son found somewhere, right? That's a bit of a, it's like a J.J. Abrams mystery box thing. Like, where did it come from? Why does it have this effect? We didn't get that answer in season 1. I don't know if we'll get it in season 2, but looks like we'll just have to wait and find out. I enjoyed the creepy vibes of that episode. It actually felt like a real alien, I don't know, say a real horror type show, but like a sci-fi horror-esque vibe to it. Finally, I think 7 was a dud. I think 8 was a dud as well. 9 got a little bit better. Again, majority of the Japanese storyline, where Hanada was drifting through space, it makes it back and, play some David Bowie, but was it really her? And then of course the spacecraft gets nuked, because they can't take any risks. And of course I'm like, what did that solve in the end? Did it actually solve the problem? Because even though all the aliens around are dead, but I don't know. It almost seems too easy, right? Like, there's an invasion. We don't really see the aliens a lot. And now, because we nuked the Japanese space shuttle that was up in space that they hijacked, that just solves the problem? That eliminated these aliens, these invaders? No, I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that. I don't think that was good. And again, it was written that way, intentionally, because we were getting a season 2. And, there's this other interesting moment with Travanti and Casper, where Travanti is in disbelief, right? But he's able to kind of put some sort of trust or faith in Casper, because he's has these visions whenever he has seizures. And we learn a little bit more about Travanti and his backstory to his kid that he lost, who was sick. And it almost seems like Casper is this key. I don't know why, and I don't know, not to be too realistic as to how seizures are a radio receptor for alien invaders. But it is what it is. This is a sci-fi fiction show, and we just have to go with it. But he's supposedly dead, because of him pulling this like Neo scene, at the end of like the second Matrix movie, when the Sentinels are coming at Neo outside of the Matrix, and he's able to stop them and kill them. It kind of happens the same thing, where Casper is able to hold off like 3 of those little aliens, and they die, but he dies too. And honestly, the way it ended was it was very slow. There's a lot of this. The pacing could be better, I feel like, and look, I'm always a stickler for character development. If you've seen other videos that I've reviewed or critiqued here in the show, it's just because of my writing background. I am big on character development and plot. And again, not the strongest plot, but I feel like if these studios knew where they were going and where it could end up, then sure, we're going to pitch a multi season show here, and hopefully the viewers will like it. And I know ratings wise, it didn't really get that good of a score on like the major platforms like IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, etc. So, it seems like character development wise, you know, in Japan we see Mitsuki that she essentially closes the book, or the box, literally, the chapter dealing with Hinata, and takes this compass. But we see the compass later on in this dream that Casper may be having, even though he's dead, and he sees Ikuru, who's Hinata's father, and there's this connection, obviously, that we know Casper said when he was in the CT scan machine, saying Tayo, Waju, and Mitsuki. And so I'm sure we'll see Mitsuki again in season 2. Probably Casper. I don't think Casper's dead. We'll probably see more of Travanti, even though he doesn't quite know what to do, but he goes back to his wife to try over, and essentially he wants to leave the armed forces. And, you know, they go to this beach or coastline, and his wife, Travanti's wife, is dumbstruck because of what she sees in the sky. And lo and behold, it's another freaking spaceship that looks like a star to me. And I don't know if that's something that, you know, maybe related to what Casper was saying, you know, star, and Travanti was like, star, what does star mean, right? So my question is, are those little weird aliens, are those the real invaders, or whatever's on that ship, is that the real invasion that's coming? Are they the same thing? I don't know. Again, there's like so much ambiguity here that I think in some cases too much is not really bode well. I really hope that they start to answer questions in season 2. You know, again, for those of you that are watching this segment of my review here, I'll continue watching it. I'll make that sacrifice for you all. I'll take that burden and waste my time. And again, I'll do reviews on it, and if it's good enough, you might see me come out with another video saying, you know what, give it a chance. And skip season 1, give season 2 a chance, or, you know, just read about the synopsis of any episodes that you might have skipped, or power through it if you can. I understand if you can't. I wanted this show to be a lot better, you know. It's crazy. I almost suspected they wouldn't give it a season 2, but when they did, I don't know, I was a little shocked, to be honest. And yeah, like some of their comments that you guys have left on this episode, most boringly slow burning shows ever made. Stories are very boring and unrealistic. It's very badly written. Had to skip lots of the parts, especially with the family and the kids. Yeah, I mean, listen, I really hope that they pick up the pace, and I think they really need to dip more into actual sci-fi, not earthly type stuff. Like, you know, all the affair type drama. Like, man, you could have cut 75% of that out and would have been fine still. You know, like another comment here. I gave up after 3 episodes. Needs more sci-fi. 100%. You know, I believe we respond to every single comment on here. So if we haven't, our apologies. But yeah, I like this comment here by. This is not sci-fi. It's drama porn. I've lost all patience. Hope for some meaningful payoff. Reminds me of a Kathleen-styled bait and switch. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of drama. Someone didn't like the army guy, constantly crying, and the constantly crying girl, who always feels like dragging character from the Middle Eastern family. It starts to feel like Falling Skies was rubbish. $20 million budget. $200 million budget, $20 million per episode, waste of money. You know, I think at that point, what did they spend the money on, right? Because it's not like they had giant actors in it. I know the actor who played Anisha. She was in Extraction with Chris Hemsworth that premiered on Netflix, which was great, right? You know, she wasn't in that a whole lot, but I think she was good in it. So And of course the two, well, Sam Neill, big name. He was in it for one episode and they kill him off, and then Karen Fukuhara, who is in The Boys, she gets killed off in the first episode as well. And we see her for a split second again in episode 8 or whatever. I mean, definitely bait and switch, misled. And, again, I wonder what they're going to do with the actual budget, include some more sci-fi stuff, include some more aliens, include some more of that creepiness to it. I think that's what really made it well and work for me. So again, who knows if they'll get a third season? Short answer, no. Yes. Terrible show. Someone else said, to be honest, this show sucks. And again, I think of all the shows that I have personally watched on Apple TV Plus. I mean, we're talking shows like Ted Lasso, Mythic Quest, Foundation, Tehran. Suddenly I lost all train of thought. The Shrink Next Door. I haven't watched Servant yet. That's going to be on my to watch list next week, and I'll be doing a review on season 3 when that starts in January. But I heard great things about it. I've heard great things about the news show Newsroom as well, which I haven't had a chance to watch that either. But I think of all the shows that I've watched as like an Apple TV Plus like original, this might be the weakest one. And I was looking forward to this as well. I was hoping it would get better, but it is a damn shame, and again, certain parts are better than others in this show, in this season. But I think there's just more drag to it than uppityness, And another comment that I liked, that was commented on our first video a month ago, that says, in defense of Lost, because we started talking about Lost and how this had a bit of a familiarity of Lost, the show, right? In defense of Lost, while it had a super long build-up, I thought it was extremely captivating with really interesting characters right from the get-go. As I watched episodes of Invasion, I got a really strong and horrible feeling that I was wasting my time grinding through mediocre storytelling when I could just be enjoying a rewatch of Dune again. Yes, exactly. I often feel that this happens. There's a lot of shows out there that, again, that I haven't personally seen that are good. I've been hearing a lot of recently, like Succession is good to watch. I haven't watched that. I've heard that Yellowstone is a good show. The other new show that recently aired with Jeremy Renner, Mayor's Town, something along those lines, I've heard was good. I haven't seen another show that one of my good friends literally pesters me about all the time. And for those of you that have seen this show, these seasons, don't hate me. I have not seen Fargo. But again, there's just so much to watch, and it's hard to really fit, other parts of life in with work, and then, trying to make videos like on stuff like this. But I will hopefully watch all those shows at some point in time. And again, I won't be able to provide recently reviewed material for them. But I'm trying my best to sort of catch up on a lot of things. I don't know. What do you guys think? For those of you that have actually finished watching Invasion like I have, what did you all think? Did you think that, it basically it was a letdown? There were some good parts, not so good parts, more bad than good, a complete drag. If you had a favorite episode, which one was it? Again, my favorite episode, I think the best episode of the show was episode 6. And then we'll see what happens with season 2. Again, I'll do a review on it. I'll let you guys know if it's worth watching or not, if it got better, if it didn't. So if you want to post in the comments what your favorite episode was, if you have one, understanding that, Again, if you stop watching, you probably don't have one. And it might be hard to say that you have a favorite episode, because if all of them stunk to you, then you can't really have a favorite. But, again, I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch this video and hear what I had to say. I initially had breakdowns of all the episodes, but as I read through it before I started this recording, I'm like, man, I would probably end up talking about this for an hour and explaining why these character developments just took too long and were unnecessary. I wasn't really a huge fan of Travanti colliding with Casper. Just didn't really seem to make a lot of sense. Like, they could have done it a lot better. Kept the drama up, but just do it differently. So again, we'll find out. So until then, I appreciate all the support. If you liked the video, if you hated the show, if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to help support me, it's free. Just hit that subscribe button. I will be doing a lot more content on here, doing a finale review of the Shrink Next Door, finale of Hawkeye. We got Spider-Man, No Way Home, Matrix Resurrections, The Witcher, Dexter New Blood, and Wheel of Time. So I'm going to hopefully get all that done before Christmas, and then take some time off until more content comes out. So until next time, again, appreciate all the support and love. Cheers.